The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the web seminar on NEBB's new online certification system called Certelligence. I'm Lori Rawlings. I'm the co-chapter coordinator for the Wisconsin Environmental Balancing Bureau. And today we're going to be walking you through how to use NEBB's new online certification system, because starting this year they're going to require that all firm recertifications be submitted through this online system. So it's vital that you know how to use this system. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we begin. We've muted all your lines to keep background noise from interfering with the presentation. So if you have a question, please use the chat feature on your webinar box, and we will gather all questions submitted during the presentation and answer them orally over the phone at the end of the presentation. And if you have any follow-up questions after today, please feel free to contact me or Simone, our other co-chapter coordinator, and we'll try to help you with whatever questions you have. We'll be giving you our contact information at the end of the presentation. So just one thing to keep in mind, you should probably begin getting your photographs and your instruments calibrated pretty soon, because we have a deadline of having your recertification papers, well actually online, your recertification online application submitted into our local office by November 1st, so we can review and process those applications before the end of the year, at which time they're due into the national office. So at this point I'm going to hand it over to our other co-chapter coordinator, Simone Smith, who's going to walk you through how the new Certelligence process works. Thanks, Simone.
Thank you, Lori. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great start to your morning. We're going to go ahead and get started with the PowerPoint, and then thereafter we're going to walk through the actual portal. So let's go. So NEBB has started this online process to make it easier for everyone for you to recertify online. Starting now, those of you who have a current expiration date of March 31st will get an email with login credentials to this online portal. What you will need access to a printer and a scanner. You will need to scan your calibration certificates, as well as take photos of your instruments. You will also need to make a note of your model and serial numbers, much like you would with a paper recertification. So here is kind of a screenshot of what the online portal looks like. This is where the designated firm, CP, can access the information, review chapter review results, open invoices, et cetera, et cetera. So once you're logged into the online portal, what you want to do is definitely read the instructions. Next, you want to make sure that you click on your appropriate discipline for this. For example, it will be TAB. So the second from the bottom, testing, adjusting, and balancing, you would click on that. Then here you would click your designated CP. If you are the person that does the web recertification, this would be you. So you would choose yourself and make sure that the relationship portion here says TAB, not ET or anything else. Make sure it says TAB. So here's where it gets really funky, and you have to make sure that you have all of your stuff ready to go. This sheet here replaces the paper instrument form, and this is where you would select your preset functions. Make sure that you pick the correct manufacturer and model options. I want to make sure that you understand that these have been preloaded into the system, so it would already have, short ridge and then the model number appropriate for the function. And then you'll have to upload a copy of the calibration certification and a picture of each required instrument.
And just a note, Simone, If there is a manufacturer of an instrument you have that isn't on the preloaded drop-down menu here, there is a choice for other, which we can show you when we actually go live to the portal that you can use, and then you can follow up with NEBB to figure out the best way to get them the name of that manufacturer and the model number.
Yes, thank you. Next, you want to make sure that you have the current copy of the procedural standard because you will be required to upload a copy of the front page. Next, you will have to complete the arbitration agreement and the code of ethics. You need to download these and then upload a signed copy for both. So that's the arbitration agreement. And then the verification of instrument record, you will need to read through this and certify that everything that you have is correct, and then click I agree. Next, this is the status and review. In order to submit to the chapter for review, all requirements need to be met. You know that the requirement is met if it has a green check mark. If there is a red X, that means you are missing something and you need to go back and fix that. You will not be able to move forward if you have any red X's. Once the firm recertification application has been received by us, it will be submitted to NEBB for final approval. The deadline for submission to NEBB is December 31st. However, as Lori said just a few minutes ago, our deadline for submission is November 1st. If you do not recertify by December 31st, you will be subject to delays in the turnaround process, and you may not receive your stamp before the current one expires. So make sure that you are on top of it. Firms that do not recertify by June 30th will be decertified. Okay, so now I want to take this time to actually go through it with you so that you are familiar with it. Okay, I'm going to get that out of the way. All right, so this is what, once you log in, this is what the dashboard inside the online portal looks like. So once you're in with your login credentials, you want to click Firm Recertification. Click Create New Recertification. So again, you want to make sure that you read the instructions. And then here, select your discipline. It's already selected for us, so tab, and then click Save. Here's where I'm adding the designated CP. So if you are the designated CP, you will already have your location, your phone, all of that information. Okay, so this is where you would start entering your instrument information. So there are about 16 different ones for TAB. So let's start with humidity. Again, as I said, these manufacturers are preloaded. However, you can pick other. So let's do that now and pick other for this and see what happens.
And the manufacturers that were preloaded are the most commonly used instrument manufacturers, which is why they chose those. But if you have other manufacturers, we can help you work with them to get that information submitted, and even have them add the manufacturers to the pre-selected drop-down list.
Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that you pick the calibration date of the instrument, enter the serial number, enter your calibration, and then click Save, and then continue on throughout all of these. procedural standard, proof of ownership. Okay, so you would go on through all of these, make sure that these are all filled in with the appropriate information. Next, you would move on to the arbitration agreement. Again, you would need to download this, sign it, scan it, and re-upload it here. The same thing with the Code of Ethics. Download, sign, scan, and upload. You need to verify that everything is correct, things like that. Click I agree. And status and review. So you can see that most of these have a green check mark, which means, it's okay. However, pay attention to the red X's. So it's not letting me move forward because I have not completed the entire instrument form. So make sure that, again, while we are going through the pre-selected manufacturers and the serial numbers and uploading photos and calibration sheets, that you make sure that you do one for each of those. And then the arbitration agreement. It's not letting me move forward because I did not download it, sign it, re-upload. So that's, in a nutshell, the new online system for firms. However, if you are a certified professional and you need to do your individual recertification, it is similar. Instead of uploading instruments, you would be uploading proof of your CECs. So it's kind of similar. If you need help with the submission process, I can certainly assist you. My contact information is up here. For instrument questions or technical questions or requirements, please contact Don Fedick, who's the NEBB Technical Director. His email is listed. We are now going to open it up for questions. If you do have a question, please enter it into the chat box, and we will answer now. I do want to point out that this PowerPoint is included as a handout, so you can download it and have it for your own review. Can you confirm what year is the current procedural standard? What is the year of?
That's a great question, Dick. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me check. I'll check the date of the current procedural standard, and we'll blast that out to you. Because we had some firms resubmit last year, and I'll confirm the date of the current procedural standard. I think it's also available on NEBB's website too, and we'll send you that information as well.
Any questions? Questions about Certelligence, the online portal, the new process?
And if you do have questions once you actually begin to fill out the new online application, don't hesitate to call or email Simone. She went to training at NEBB's headquarters a few weeks ago, so she's very familiar with the new system and can assist you with anything that comes up. And if she doesn't have the answer, she will contact NEBB and get you the answer that you need.
Yes. So the question is, where will we get this login information? You will be emailed login credentials if you are the designated CP for your firm. If you have handled the recertification for your firm in the past, you will be the one to get an email with login credentials.
Okay, so the question is for CP recertification, the WEBB meeting in November would still qualify for, I gotta scroll down here, for our required CECs, correct? Yes, that is correct. Our annual recertification seminar on November 7th, I believe, the first Monday in November, does qualify for your required continuing education credits, and we will be providing documentation for your attendance at that program, which you can then upload into their Certelligence system. Another question, how do we get the CEC credentials from last year's meeting? We did create certificates of attendance for last year's annual meeting, which are in our files here. So if you need another copy of the certificate you received after last year's seminar, we can regenerate it for you and email it to you. So we'll make note of that question and we'll send it to the person who asked that question. And if anyone else needs their certificates from last year's seminar or for previous seminars they attended, please feel free to email Simone and she can go into our files and find your certificate and email you another copy of it. Are there any other questions at this point? Okay, well, we realized we threw a lot of new information at you. Oh, wait, another question came in. Excellent. The question is, do the field technicians need recertification continuing education this year? Yes. Certified technicians are now required to earn 6 continuing education credits every 2 years. So that's 3 credits every year. So it's half the number of credits that a CP is required to earn. And the WEBB recertification seminar that we are holding November 7th will count toward that requirement. So please feel free to invite your technicians to attend that seminar as well. Okay. Hearing no further questions at this time, I just want to remind everyone that if you do have other questions that come up, either about the Certelligence process or about recertification generally or continuing education credits, feel free to get in touch with Simone. Her contact information is at the first bullet point here, Simone at PMSMCA.com, or her phone number is 414-543-7622, extension 251. Either she or I can help you with those questions. My email address isn't listed here, but it's Laurie, L-A-U-R-I, at PMSMCA.com. My phone number is the same as Simone's, except my extension is 253.
This webinar is also being recorded, so if you have further questions or you need to review something that we went over today, you can use it as a resource and it will be on our website.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules on a Friday to attend our webinar. I've been looking forward for a chance to make that really stupid pun. So we're glad you took the time to participate, and we appreciate you know, all your all your participation and support, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the certification seminar in November. Registration for that is now open, and you'll be seeing more information about that in the coming weeks, just as we remind you to get signed up and reserve your space. Okay? Thank you, Simone, for your presentation today, and thanks everyone for attending.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.